Today I will discuss on the weed management. Subject topic is herbicide resistance and its management. It means when the application of the herbicide no work, okay, no weed control. That is called the herbicide resistant. Uh, Content in the herbicide resistant. What is herbicide resistant? Herbicide resistant term to know, and each resistant to blame. Next, how to manage herbicide resistance. So I will discuss on the 4 points on the next slide, one by one. First, herbicide resistant. What is resistant? Resistance is the inherited ability of a biotype of a weed to survive an herbicide application to which the original population was susceptible. A biotype is a group of plant within a species that has biological traits such as resistant to a particular herbicide, not common to the popular uh, population as a whole. In simple terms, resistant refer to a situation where a given herbicide applied at the recommended rate and time once control a particular weed population, but after the repeat the use the herbicide no longer control that population. It means one herbicide apply and then the control, next time apply not control. It means it seems like it means herbicide resistant develop in the field. That population is said to be resistant or the resistant has developed in that population. Wherever herbicides are used on a consistent basis, it is important to recognize the difference between weed population shift and resistant. Both weed population shift and rest are the undesirable and make weed management difficult. Herbicide resistant term to know. Here you see herbicide resistant term to know. Okay. Sustainability and tolerance herbicide. Sustainability is the degree to which a plant is subject to injury or death due to a particular herbicide tolerance is the inherent ability of a species to survive and reproduce following an herbicide treatment. There was no selection to make the plant tolerance. Those plants simply possess a natural tolerance. Weed population shift various herbicide resistant. A weed population shift a change over time in the relative environments of the species. Comprising a weed population with the repeated use of herbicide, certain species may become dominant due to the selection of those that tolerant. Herbicide resistant causes. What is called herbicide resistant? Uh, Change in the composition of the population become because of resistant biotype originally at very low frequency in the weed population. Resistant biotype build up when the herbicide to which those individual are resistant is used structurally repeatedly जो है apply. Is resistant to blame. मतलब what we is resistant to blame. Most weed control failure are not due to the resistant before the assuming weed surviving and herbicide application. Are resistant eliminate other possible because of poor control. Here he mentioned herbicide application, inadequate rate, poor spray coverage and incorporation, improper timing of application of post herbicide emergence herbicide after the weed are too large to control, failure to use and injury indeed. So these region can also blame herbicide not working. These region points. Except dust with the post-emergence application, spray in interceptor at application by wheel traffic, antagonism between the two or more herbicide. Here mentioned more dust on the plant or the antagonism between two herbicide, so they can also not work. Soil and or climatic condition. Next, soil and climatic condition. If severely wet or dry soil, seed bed condition, clouds, etc., herbicide absorption to soil particular or organic matter, stress conditions such as hot and dry, lack of timely rainfall for the activation was of post-emergence herbicide. So these points also responsible for the herbicide resistant. You blame these points also blame herbicide resistant to herbicide resistant. Proactive herbicide resistant management. Early detection of resistant means management will be easier and it increase the potential to avoid the separate of the resistant. Biotype, unfortunately, because resistant plant and susceptible plant look alky resistance often is not detected until the resistant biotype has spread to 30% or more of the field and perhaps to support surrounding field. Therefore, a proactive approach is using diverse weed control tactics is the most effective way to management. Herbicide resistant, the primary objective of the proactive resistant management is to reduce selection process by. Here you mention selecting and using the herbicide correctly, recognizing weed characteristics that promote resistance and managing field farm or site wisely, doing what is taken to proactively manage herbicide resistance is a good alternative to paying the price for overcoming resistance once it occurs. So this point also how to manage the resistance. Select and use herbicide correctly. A rotate herbicide with different mechanism of action, non just different label name, avoid conjunctive application of the same herbicide unless it is used in a tank mix or proper pack containing. And herbicide with the different mechanism of action are used with the other weed management option such as cultivation and culture method. B. Use herbicide with a different mechanism of action in the same spray tank in a given crop year or the between year. This can be accomplished most effectively with the tank mix and pre-pack. The tank mix and pre-pack are combination of the two or more herbicide applied as a single mixture. Okay, so here is a topic is a set and correct how to use. Namaste. Minimize the use of long-resistant herbicide susceptible plant emerging later in the season of following use of a long residual herbicide or multiple application of a non-residual herbicide are still exposed to the herbicide, thereby increasing selection pressure. Apply herbicide evenly and equivalently linked to calibrate model and use relevant application rate. Lower than level rate has been shown to increase the likelihood of metabolic resistance. Using the higher than the level rate illegal and can also enhance the selection process for the resistance. So this point also how to manage field farm or site wisely. A capitalize on cultural practices to residue reliance on herbicide when few non-chemical control methods such as cultivation are used. Resistant is more likely to develop or will develop more rapidly. Use correct row spacing, proper fertilizer of human planting rate, and management of the other pests to maximize the crop availability. To compete with the wheat where erosion and our limited soil moisture are not in concern. Supplement chemical with primary cultivation for annual cropping system. Start with a clean field and control weed early by using a burn down treatment or tillage in combination with a pre-emergence residual herbicide as a appropriate. Here is mentioned is a how to management weed uh, 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 management field and farm side. Here is means cultural practices more. Here is a points for the maintain the herbicide uh, weed. Rotate crop to allow great flexibility in choosing different tillage practices and are the use the herbicide with the different mechanism or the action. Changing changing tillage practices and herbicide make it more likely that you avoid consistently favoring same of weed as species. So here the mention is how to manage the weed by the cultural practices, etc. Here is mentioned, be aware that the resistant weed can be spread from the highway, railway road, utility right of way and other area near your farm to treated site. Here is mentioned how to manage herbicide resistant. If the herbicide resistant is a confirmed or highly suspected diverse approach to managing the herbicide resistance needed to be incorporated into weed management strategy immediately for the species in question. It is best to stop using the herbicide in question and other herbicide with the same mechanism of action. However, in many cases of the herbicide continues to work on a large number of the weed and is a seven still the best choice for the overall weed control. If the decision is made to continue using the herbicide, there are several options. Use number one, use proactive weed control pre-plant pre-emergence with a herbicide tank mixer or the pre-pack having at least one mechanism of action that is known to control the resistant weed. Use post-emergence herbicide only to tank mixer or the pre-pack with at least one mechanism of action that is known to control the resistant weed. If the resistant weed is uh, confined to relative small area, take step to prevent the seed production. Prevent seed production. If the weed is still small enough to control with the herbicide, treated the affected spot. Alternative, the weed could be removed by the hand or the crop in the infested passage could be sacrificed and the weed control by destructive tillage are the with the use of the non-selective spot herbicide application. Do not let the resistant weed go to seed. Here you mention if resistant weed in the small area, you apply on all this method like the hoeing, cutting, and cut the plant before the seed production. So these are the points is mentioned. Avoid moving seed are the avoid moving seed are the vegetative formula to propagation to other field and farm. Use a power washer or the compressed air to help to remove the seed and plant part from the equipment used in the field. If any field have history, a herbicide resistant weed used for on the equipment in the last the field last. Seek advice from university extension weed, especially to assist the long-term planting of the weed control is a subsequent crop resistance from the requiring and prove benefit. Managing resistance to the long-term adhering to the resistance management principle outlined above will help delay the prevent. So here you mentioned how to control the resistant weed. So next topic I will discuss in the next. Thank you.